Okay, we're back with another episode of High Rated Edison. Today we have Thorneal with 947 rating versus JG Billiards on 1464 rating. So Thorneal just outside the top 200, JG Billiards deep into the top 100. That's got to be a top 10, top 20 score right there. We've seen JG Billiards on the channel a load of times before. Love featuring them. They're on my kind of current favourite deck at the minute. And they're a really cool player with some really weird tech ideas a lot of the time. So let's see how it goes. They've won the die roll. Opening hands are Prisma, Compulse, Shrink, Prisma, and Honest. So this is a bit weird. It looks like Glad Beast right up until you see the Honest, but I'm thinking it's like Hero Beat, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. And JG Billiards, they've got Machina Gear Frame, Trap Dust Shoot, Miracle Fusion, Compulse, Ocean, and Fortress. So let's see how they start off. They're going to start with Gear Frame, add Fortress. Going to set Trap Dust Shoot and Compulse, pass over. Smashing Ground drawn for turn now. JG is going to see the hand. They're going to rip a Prisma. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because like they've got two Prismas. So maybe you rip the Honest just so they have less variety in hand. But yeah, Prisma's a hell of a card. Shuffling it up now, and the Prisma, I think what JG is worried about there is that the Prisma is going to be like, they're going to have Cyber Dragon mained, which is just a bit of a hard counter to all of the Machina stuff they're on. Going to set the Compulse, set the Honest, and pass. Pick up the turn is Cyber Dragon this side, nice. So they're going to Compulse back their own Gear Frame, this is clever. So they can Cyber Dragon out now, get in. That's going to get Compulse back to hand. Going to get into life points. Main two, they're going to set the Ocean and pass. Yeah, I thought they'd go Gear Frame for another, but I guess what they're trying to do is get the Ocean in rotation for Miracle Fusion. Okay, so it's Test Tiger now. So what is the Honest for? The Honest can't just be for the Prisma. Okay. It's GBs, but it's it's tacked out to the gills. So yeah, they're going to reveal Geyserus, dump Bestiary with Prisma, bring out Test Tiger, trade it in for a Darius. Darius bring out the Bestiary, make the Geyserus. Shuffling. Ooh, didn't shuffle the deck there. There they go. Yeah, Geyserus going to get to pop both. I'm going to get in for some damage now. Yep. Now they can tag out, and they should be, Retiari going after the hero. Yep, and the Quarry for the body. Sets the Shrink. Wow, this is a really good play. Okay, draw for turn is Miracle Fusion. This is not what we want to see right now. With no heroes in rotation. That's a Shrink at the back as well, so yeah, this is pretty tough. They can Machina Gear Frame for Force though. So they're going to Fortress for Fortress, and then they're going to Force for Fortress. This is playing really deep into a Torrential or a Mirror Force, but I guess they just kind of have to get aggressive here. Yeah, going to get in over the Laquari, get in over the Retiari, get in with the Gear Frame. Yeah, I guess there's no way that Shrink played enough of a part because they went into the Laquari first. Yeah, okay. And obviously if Machina Fortress is destroyed, it will just pop it anyway. Yeah, I think holding the Shrink there is good. I think doesn't feel great, but it works. Yeah, going to Smash and Ground, get the Fortress that isn't equipped, going to set the Deep Prison, leave the Shrink down, set the Honest and pass, draw for turn is Machina Force. Jesus. Yeah. I'm going to try and get in now. That one's going to get met with the Deep Prison. This one's going to get met with a Shrink. No? Okay, they're just going to let it go. Yeah. I mean, you can Shrink there, but yeah, I guess what are you achieving? Pick up a turn there is Mamilla. This one's just over, right? Steamroid. Yeah. We talked about it before. He's still on it. Yeah. Steamroid for the win there. Yeah, so if you've never seen JG Billiards play on the channel before, the techs are like Steamroid, and then Scrap Recycler, so they can dump a Fortress or a Steamroid, and then they can, like, when there's two level 4 Earth machines like Steamroid or Gear Frame, they can shuffle them back to draw a card. It's pretty cool. It gets Fortress out of the deck really quickly. They're also playing at one point, I don't know if they still are, they're also playing the Super Vehicroid Jumbo Draw, so they could also dump Steamroid with the Prismas that they're playing, which is really fun. So opening hands, game 2 are Future Fusion, Dust Tornado, Ocean, Cyber Dragon, Gear Frame. This is a good hand, this is a really solid hand. Cyber Dragon, Honest, Solemn, Cyber Dragon, Bestiary and Compulse, yeah, and they've got 2 big answers to it. So Bestiary coming out now with set Compulse, set Solemn, passing over, draws Smashing Ground. Oh yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Because you want the Future Fusion to get through, and I think to do that you try and threaten the monster and bait stuff out. Now obviously JG can't see the back row. We can, we've got the power of hindsight. But yeah, it's tough. They're going to try and bait out this way, which is also good. So Cyber Dragon coming down now, going to try and get in. Yep, they're going to let that go through. Sets the Dust Tornado and passes. Draws Mamillo. Cyber Dragon coming out on Thorneal's side. That's going to make a Chimera Tech. Yeah, Mamillo coming down as well. Mamillo getting in. Chimera Tech getting in. Yeah, this Dust Tornado not doing a whole lot here. Tagging out for the Darius. Darius going to revive the Bestiary. They can go after the back row now. They're going to chain that. And they do hit the Solemn, which is fantastic news when you're holding Future Fusion. That is really good. And Smashing Ground, yeah, is able to take out this Geyserus, which is just going to get stuck on the field if they don't compulse it. Which, you know, why would you? Oh, and they've drawn the MST as well, so they can MST the Compulse. Can Future Fusion. Yeah, so the dumps there. Machina, Fortress, Ocean. Yeah, so they're going for the Gaia line. Gear Frame can bring out a Force now. Pitch the Force, bring out the Fortress. Smashing Ground the Geyserus. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Gonna get over the Chimera Tech, get in with the Gear Frame. Gonna equip. Yeah, you kind of have to. Now you've seen Cyber Dragons, you kind of have to, because Cyber Dragon for 3 is much worse for you than Cyber Dragon for 2. Pick up for turn there is Super Poly. I'm not sure what the target for this is. Maybe it's like their own Mamillo and a hero monster and they're like playing an Ab-Zero. But yeah, hopefully we find out. So Cyber Dragon coming down now. That's going to get rid of the Fortress and the Gear Frame for the Chimera Tech. Honest coming down now. Both going to get in. So this is 3100. Yeah, and this is going to require an answer this turn. Sets the Super Poly and passes. Draw for turn is Solemn. Okay. We're going to set both. Yeah, I think you kind of have to and just see what you can get around. So Prisma coming down now. Yeah, I think you have to Solemn the Prisma, right? Otherwise you're just dead here. Yeah, Chimera Tech going to get over the Ocean. Okay, Gaia can come out now, but yeah, I'm slightly worried about the Super Poly. So Gaia gonna take the attack, lower the attack, get him for 22 damage, set the Torrential Pass. Draw is another Super Poly. Okay, they're really valuing the Super Poly, and I'm not entirely sure what the targets are, unless they're just playing an Ab-Zero or a Gaia of their own. And I guess the Glad Beast extra deck is kind of useless after 7 cards. So yeah, maybe that is the play. Sets the Honest now. Pass, draw for turn is the DD Warrior Lady. DD Warrior Lady is quite cool here, because that is just going to stop any Glad Beast plays. Going to get him for 15 now. And pass, draw for turn is the Prisma. Yeah, Prisma. Going to try and get in. That's fine. DD Warrior Lady's going to... Okay. We're going to see what the Super Poly target is. It's a Gaia. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, this is really cool. I mean, this, yeah, let's think about this for a second. So heroes are everywhere. You know, we see Hero Quick Draw, Hero Machina, Diva Hero, Dark Diva Hero, Hero Frogs. I think if you play Super Polys and a Gaia and an Ab-Zero, and you're either playing those cards already because you're also playing heroes, or you're you're playing them because your extra deck doesn't really require anything, like in Glads, there's a couple of other decks that don't really need their extra deck that much. Like, that's a really good conversion. It's a really good conversion. It's a pitch, and obviously it's a card used. But if you can turn, say, like a dupe frog and an Ab-Zero into your own Ab-Zero, you know, and then destroy all the board with that, or if you can turn, like in this case, a hero and a hero fusion, because you're already playing the Prismas, then yeah, that's also a really good conversion. Wow. Okay, very cool. Okay, pick up a turn there is Miracle Fusion. Miracle Fusion is going to make an Ab-Zero, and that is just game. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, quick game there. JG getting another 2-0 on the channel, which is really good to see. What do I have to say about this? I mean, first of all, that Super Poly play was pretty cool. I think that as the meta kind of defines itself more around heroes now than ever, this could be a real like threat. And it's just so hard to play around in actual Edison format, that I think this could genuinely be a really good contender. There's not a lot of you're not going to have a lot of issues establishing when a Super Poly would be live if you're siding it in for something that is very hero reliant, so like hero frogs, like Machina hero, but you are going to have to play the two targets, so it's more unlikely in Machina hero that they're going to have a face up water and a face up hero. But you're playing the Prismas, so you can kind of fill one of those voids. You're also playing a Murmillo, which means you can actually fill both of them if your opponent's only, you know, you're only seeing a hero or a water on their side. It's just going to take a bit more conditioning to get it into to be a water. It's really cool though, and I think people are going to have to be more aware of this play. Seeing it there, I mean, you know, JG tops the Miracle Fusion, you know, like an absolute G, as always. But effectively, like without that, or in a different circumstance where they weren't so far behind by the time they finally got to activate Super Poly, you could see how that could be a devastating move. You know, taking off a Stratos and a Dupe Frog, taking off a Gaia and a Crystal Seer, whatever it is. Those could be really big plays that could really swing a match in your favour. It's not too much of a cost as well in this format. So if we think about like what a discard is, you know, discards used for Raigeki Break, Lightning Vortex, you know, Karma Cut, all those discard traps that we're used to seeing. It's effectively just that, but it puts a monster on your board and takes up to 2 monsters off their board. It's a really good conversion in the right matchups, so I really like seeing this. I think this is something that we're all going to have to be a bit more prepared for if you're playing a hero variant in future, especially when you come up against a Glad Beast player or a deck like Gadgets where they don't particularly use their extra deck. So something to definitely watch out for. And then on this side, yeah, I mean, JG Billiards showed why they think the deck is the best deck. You know, loads of plays there, fortresses coming out left, right and centre, drawing the right cards when they need to, Future Fusion, Miracle Fusion, absolute bombs in this deck. And what Machina Hero is basically taking a deck that already has Fortress, you know, pretty good access to Fortress, a Machina engine that ends on this really powerful Edison card, and then adding even more bombs into it, like Future Fusion, like Miracle Fusion, and things that regain like resources, like taking 3 Stratoses in your gear frames and adding an actual Stratos. So really cool deck. Love seeing it piloted by JG with the whole Steamroid stuff. Didn't get to see this round, but I'm sure we will next time we feature them. But yeah, really good match, tough match for Thorneal, even with the cool plays. But yeah, never really got established this game, and it just looked downhill. And then when they ripped the Miracle Fusion, yeah, it's going to feel bad. But there's a lot of live draws here, which would have taken away 1400 life points, so not too bad.